All right, here we are on a rainy afternoon in Texas, and it's been raining a lot. It's been, I love afternoon projects. I love little simple afternoon projects that you can do and just have fun doing. And they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of uniqueness to work in. This is one of them. And what's so fun about this project is it's a little Danish type project. It's about 3 inches high and about 1 1/4 inches thick. And what's so fun about it is you can make the man, you just alter this just a little bit and you make the man and the woman from the same pattern, in other words. And you can see the very simple pattern. It's almost like a little praying Mary, in other words. But you can make it into a little. Now this is not going to be what's good about this project, it's not one of these extreme facial type things where you get into making the faces a certain way or whatever it is, but it's really very simple. So I'm going to get my knife here and I'm going to call this a little Danish simple project, afternoon project that you can do. So it's, like I told you, it's 3 inches by 1 1/4, and I'll get my knife here, and all you have to do is just sort of follow the lines here. We're going to cut away from the piece here, just sort of like that on both sides. Hope everyone is well. And we come here and we do the same thing. We cut from the side. You hear the thunder in the background. We cut the little pieces there, and then we just sort of round up just a little bit. Okay, now what we just do is just kind of go along here and we start just removing some now we want this part to stick out just a little bit, so we don't want to remove a whole lot of wood from here right at the moment, but let us bring it down and then kind of, you know, we want it to kind of come out for the woman here, and then I will show you how to do the man. Okay, but it's a rounding project and it's just a lot of fun. It's just to play with and everything like that. I hope everyone is well. We finally getting back to normal a little bit. We took a little hit from Hurricane Beryl. Not a direct hit like Houston did. Houston is really took a pretty bad hit from it, and in fact there's a lot of customers still without power in Houston, and it's pretty bad up there. I understand. There's a lot of people have had to leave the city and go out because the storm. I mean, they just don't have any electricity, and there's a lot of elderly assisted living homes that don't have any, and there's where the really big concern comes. Really extremely big concern for the older generation who are in these nursing homes and assisted living homes. I think they said close to over 2 million people got power out, in other words. So it's a very extensive situation in Houston, and so what we're going to do is we're going to just sort of, we want to just bring this bring this forward like this way and this way to sort of round that off right in there. Like I told you, this is a shaping project more than anything in the world. And we're going to shape the hands like this. And sort of bring them to the we're going to kind of come up underneath here and bring this up underneath here and bring this up underneath here. No, there was 2-point-something million people without power. Houston really got hit bad. They did. They took and a lot of people still don't have power, and they are really hurting. I'll tell you, it just breaks my heart to see that, because I know what it's like in a hurricane, and I've been without a home and being without power, and it's been hot. Although this rain here will maybe cool Houston off if it helps a little bit, but it's still going to be hot, you know. I mean, and I know that we lost our power for about 2 days. We had an incident where a tree fell on one of our power lines and broke it in half. I'm kind of bringing this down right in here. What we want to do is just kind of flip that as we go, just sort of bringing that down and everything like that. And of course, this all comes forward as well. When I say it comes forward, it comes toward the middle is what happens. And so a lot of people lost power, and energy, well, they have center point, or center point energy, I guess is what basically what it is really struggling to bring the power back to Houston. And a lot of people have pulled their older people out of nursing homes and out of those places, because a lot of older people, they just can't deal with the heat being as bad as it is, and so they're taking a real run down there. But we lost our power for 2 days. I have a generator. I have an 8,000 watt generator, and and I have a plug in the back of my house where I can actually hook the generator up. Now, it's a gasoline. It's not one of the natural gas generators. It's a gasoline Generac, and in fact, I'm servicing it now. I'm changing oil and all that stuff, changing a new plug, and you fill it with gasoline, but I have a plug in the back of my house where I can actually plug it into the system, and then I turn off the breaker going to the main, and I turn my breaker on, and I can use my generator. Although it's not really big enough to run the air conditioner. So what I did, I got some window units that go into my bedroom, or a window unit, a 5,000 BTU, and that goes into my bedroom, and so I can sleep in my bedroom with that generator going, you know. So, but usually in incidences like this, when your power is out, and even though you have a way to you just keep on this project, you just keep rounding it off, shaping it, in other words. It'll run that 5,000 BTU air conditioner, But I found that during these times, and you do have to go and fill the. Usually, if you fill a generator up, it'll last you almost 8 hours. It depends on how much load you put on it too, and all that other stuff. But most of the time it lasts around 8 hours and stuff. But even when I have air conditioning in my little bedroom and stuff, usually during those times you don't sleep all that well anyway. I mean, you sleep, but you're always waking up, looking at things, trying to get things together, all that other stuff. It's not like when you have electricity and you just go to sleep and know that that electricity is going to be there in the morning and all that stuff. I mean, you know the generator is going to provide you with what you need, but you still don't sleep that well because you're concerned about tomorrow, about getting the gasoline, about doing whatever. Now, what's happened to Houston is because they don't have any power, and because we run off technology so much, the gas stations don't even have, a lot of them don't even have gasoline because the pumps don't work. So, and they run out of gasoline because there's only a few that can provide it. So, you have that situation that people are in dire straits. Now, as we look at this project, dire straits, not dire streets. And so you have that issue going on in Houston right now. And listen, I know what that's like. I have retired from the plant, but there were many times where I was in another state or something like that, and right after the hurricane came through, I was called back to start the plant up because I was one of the guys that worked the boiler house, and the boiler house utilities was the first thing that had to, that was steam and water. That was the first thing that had to be brought up in order to bring up the other units and stuff. These people don't play around. Once a hurricane is over, they want to bring their they're losing money. They want to bring their units up. So when I was working, I was always, usually when I left or anything like that, I had a pass that would give me to come back early and work in the plant, getting the plant up so that we can get things going. So this was not anything unusual for me. And so when I would come back, of course, all the electricity, most of the time, all the electricity would be off, except for generators. When I came back from Rita, when I came back from Ike, when I came back from some of those, it was a situation that you had. And I went straight out to the plant and worked, And we would get because we had a cogeneration unit, and that cogeneration unit made electricity. And sometimes when we made it, we would back feed into the system, and would actually run. And these were two huge generators, not generators like what you're thinking of. They were generators, but they were generators that were huge. They would put out probably, anybody that knows about it, with about 32 to 33 megawatts. Each cogeneration unit would do that. So we would get those started up, and we would get back up online, and then the excess we would back feed into there to even help power some of our little town there. Now, as you see, you can see how this is shaping now. What in the world? There's some kid yelling in the background back here. Yelling this to his mom or something, I don't know. But weird. It's just like he's just, Anyway, you probably can't hear it, but I can. So when I would come back, I mean, there'd be no power in the town. There'd be no businesses open because of it and stuff. Now that is the weirdest feeling. You want a weird, eerie feeling? Go back into a town of, gosh, we probably had, you know, this is a town or the Golden Triangle of 100,000 people or more. Go back in the town when there is no street lights, there's no, you know, I mean, everything is just pitch dark. This is an eerie feeling. That's why when we would come back, we would go straight to the plant, and they wouldn't let us leave. They you know, until the plant got up and everything like that. Because number one, it was dangerous to be out in areas like that with no, you know, I mean, no street lights, no stop lights, no anything, because everything had been down. And that's an eerie feeling. I'm telling you, it is a big eerie feeling. Okay, there we go. We're getting the little piece now in looking pretty good shape. We're going to keep bringing it to the centerpiece. And so that used to be a wonderful I'm gonna come up the bottom here and kind of, okay, you see what we're doing here? See how we're just shaping that around and all that stuff? And so where in the world is it? Somebody's yelling. You know what? Maybe it's a kid yelling for a dog. Maybe that's what that is. Trying to find his dog or something. He just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. And anyway, I'm sorry. That is the most eerie feeling, because when you are caught in this weird, as we say, weird, you know, you come in and there's nothing that or it's just a dark, pitch dark feeling. It is really strange. It is very strange. And that's what's happening to Houston. Houston is basically in the dark in a lot of situations. And of course, with our technology now, you know, gas pumps don't work. People try not to drive at night, so it's an eerie feeling. And I've experienced it quite a bit in my life. Coming back, trying to get the unit started and everything like that. So that's like no other feeling you had. I mean, it's kind of like when people leave town. Everybody has left town. I mean, and there's nobody on the road, and you're by yourself. And like I said, there's no street lights. There's no, and it's almost like a, you know, ooh feeling of what's going on. But I've been that many times. Just like that plant that I worked at, it was always very loud. It was very, you know, boisterous. And you come back and that thing is just as quiet as can be until you can start getting things open and running. And that's a weird feeling. It's a very strange feeling. And so yeah, I'm just going around it, just kind of getting in it. Now, one of the things I want to do is, before we go any further, we've got this thing rounded off pretty good. I mean, we're going to round this off even more on both sides. And you see how I go from side to side to side, rounding it off. and going along with it, in other words. Okay, so like that. But what we want to do is we're going to give the woman a little shawl, like a little, we're going to come from this point right here. We're just going to kind of come back, okay? And then we're going to go across here like that. And from here we come down and join with that, in other words, right there, okay? And we're going to go ahead and make a cut right there, just like that. Just like that, in other words. And then we're going to come across here in the back. But that is a very weird experience. And it's almost scary. It would be like you waking up one day and your neighbors are all gone. And the people in the town are just about all gone. Now there are some, you know, emergency vehicles that are there and stuff like that. But everyone's gone. Everyone is completely gone. There's no businesses open because there's no electricity. There's no nothing. And that is one of the weirdest feelings in the world. And I've gone through that several times. And it's just really hard to explain what in the world is going on. Well, you know what's going on, but I'm talking about just the feeling that you have. Okay, I just cut that little thing right there, in other words. And we're just gonna, like, once again, just kind of bring that in a little bit. I think you know where I'm going with this now and all that. Just kind of scoop it right in here in the back of it there. Just like that, in other words. And so that's what they're experiencing a lot in Houston. Even though some things are open, there's not many